Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Divine Brothers podcast. And man, oh man, Chase was just talking about what the military does to people, and I think we've all run into some poor veteran that's just struggling with life, dealing with PTSD, and it's not good. But this week I started reading a new book called Catastrophe by Max Hastings. Really, really good historian. He was a World War II guy, but he decided to go out into World War One. Man, you want to talk about like scarring people psychologically? Oh my God. Just you will not believe the shit that people went through in World War One. Like it was so much worse than anything ever. And like people used to get like there were instances of people like being scarred from battle and stuff like that before, but the idea of PTSD, like really being shell shocked as they called it back then, didn't really happen until World War One. And holy shit, with the death and the mustard gas and the machine guns and cavalry charges into like
Oh,
the machine
blowing your
guns.
arm off. Fuck.
Oh my God, dude! And none of them know. Like none of them, like they all think they're going off to become Achilles or
What
fucking Odysseus or
I
something.
want to say what a sham it's become. Do you ever see that show on YouTube? It's a little short. It's the audit one where the guy does their financials and he's kind of it's famous over here. These people come
Oh, do
in.
you mean the legal, like the auditor? I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. He goes into the law
Yeah.
about like what's happening. Yeah,
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 and
yeah,
he makes fun of them for being in debt for stupid shit. Have you seen
yeah.
this guy? He goes, every veteran, he goes, I've probably had hundreds of veterans on here. Hundreds. And he goes, we are batting. He goes, maybe three or four have not had some type of disability. Every one of them, every single person getting out of the military now is disabled because they can't. They work it, dude. And I always thought I was like, that's bullshit. What about psychologists, man? I could be disabled from trauma right now. I could, dude, from other people's fucking trauma, which is probably even worse. Only the military gets it. Only the military, man. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
Everybody in the military fakes it.
They could call it post-traumatic conversation disorder. Like you just had such terrible conversations that you have to deal with them.
Post-traumatic therapy disorder, post-traumatic
Yeah,
t
yeah. It can be vicious, man.
P PTD, PT, I have PTTD, and it's
I've been
severe, it's chronic, and
I've
I'm
been hanging out
disabled.
with this South African guy at my school. He's kind of forced himself to be my friend,
I like
and
South
I don't really know.
Africans. They're pretty cool,
He's
man.
he's all right. He's all right. He's all right. But man, oh man, like I here's the good side. The good side is he is willing to do any conversation. He will have any conversation with you. He will go where you want to go
Nice.
in a conversation. But he's arrogant. Like he refuse. He'll go where you want to go in the conversation, but he
This
will never agree with you.
this is a
You know
great
what I mean?
topic because I'm curious what you do with arrogance, Austin and me. I wonder how we all deal with it.
Well, I'll tell you what I do with him. I disagree openly. I disagree openly,
Yeah.
but because we're both on board with the conversation, we're both into. We just keep going. When we maintain our separate paths as we keep going deeper and deeper and deeper, and it never gets angry. It's just like, yeah, you believe that shit? Nah, I don't buy that. Here's what I think. Like, nah, I don't buy that either. Here's what I think. All right, let's keep going. All right, let's do it. That sort of thing.
There's a
So yeah,
respect that grows, yeah.
it's healthy. But what I'm trying to say is that, like, I honestly kind of have my fill of them, but you know what? My tolerance is to a point where I'm like, I don't mind. It's okay. It's okay. I'm accepting this friendship. I'm accepting this agreement that we have. I'm okay with it. Let's just do it because it's better than nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I'm at.
That's totally Dean.
Yeah,
That's yeah, and I think people appreciate you for it.
man.
I'm trying to think. If they're funny, I will fan the flame. I'm the best looking guy in here, but you made me laugh consistently. You know what, man? You kind of are, man. You could take his girl. You could get any girl in like, but if I don't like you, like, man, you're hideous, dude. Nobody likes you. I'll rip into you in a laughable way, but it depends on if I like you or not. If you make me laugh, it means the world to me. I will.
Have you ever? Have
Yeah,
you
that's
ever
fun.
called somebody to their face hideous? Have you ever said you are hideous? That
I'm
word is powerful. Hideous. You're
I want to
hideous.
say yes, but I can't remember when. It
It's
was when
like
I
a
was
like a
young and
scary
bolder.
movie word. You know what I mean? Hideous. You know.
The
It's I
worst
remember
one.
mom. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the worst one I can remember saying, and like, damn, I shouldn't have said that. They were doing a keg stand at a party in college.
Yeah.
You know where they lift the people's legs up, and this girl was like, grab her other leg. I was like, man, I can't lift that bitch. And she was just, she was upset. I was like, ooh, I should close
Well,
this more. Yeah, yeah.
I remember mom and Hal, they were talking one day, and mom and our uncle, and they were talking about their cousin, who's not pretty. Like they were both like reminiscing about how ugly she was and
They're
stuff.
horrible. They're horrible.
And they said, Hal said, Hal's like, yeah, we used to call her Beastula. Like everybody, hey, everyone, hide the kids. Beastula's coming over.
Oh my
Beastula. And
God.
apparently, like Joyce would like laugh at it too. Like, just like, don't say that. Like, they all agreed that she's just hideous. Oh, so terrible.
Man,
One of the
uh,
the the few things Vic would tell me, he goes, I think he's referring to a song, is that if you want to be happy, get an ugly woman to be your wife, and
Oh
just
yeah.
make sure she knows how to cook. I
that's a
think he told
song,
me that.
Austin, and you're butchering
Okay,
it. Yes.
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
No, he told me that. I think the song was
A famous
after
song,
him.
man. Yeah. Harry Belafonte. Yeah.
If you
Because
want to
if you
be
want to be
happy for
happy,
the rest of your life, got to make an
man,
ugly
ugly
woman your
woman.
wife. Just from my personal point of view, get an ugly girl to marry you.
Yeah, and they start talking in the song. They like the guy goes, "Hey, I saw your wife yesterday. She sure is ugly. Yeah, but
Yeah,
she can
yeah.
cook.
Yep.
Yeah."
She sure can cook.
That was a
That.
great one, man.
If you're
Yeah.
ugly, you know damn well you need to be exceptional at something. And if it's cooking,
Oh, yeah.
that'll save you. That'll at least get you a family. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm familiar with a few couples, and there's this one couple. It fucking tell me about this. How do you feel about an ugly guy who gets a smoking hot woman? Like, because there's a couple in my work, the business management guy. Like he's like a fat, short American guy. He's annoying. I don't like him that much, But I was talking to him one day. He's like, "Hey, this is my wife," and in comes fucking smoking hot Chinese girl, and I'm like, "Damn, you're like." I told him I was like, "How the hell did you get her?" And he's like, "I know she's personal trainer." And I was like, "What?" I still don't understand how it happened, and I'm still a little upset by it. I
And
expected something well below that.
in our culture, it surprises me sometimes in the West. In Asia, I saw it way too often.
Mhm.
When I met him, I'm like, dude, this is a mismatch. And I met him, I'm like, oh, they're kind of just together. That's the white
Yeah,
guy. She's happy to get a
yeah.
white guy. Like she tolerates him. Like, all right. Okay.
It's one of those things where like I remember like when I told him that I was like, dude, how did you get that? He's like, I know. Like he was super aware of it. He was like, I know. I fucking hit the lottery, man. And it made me a little angry. I didn't like it. It felt unjust,
Hey,
Like,
we didn't ask Austin how he deals with arrogance. I'm kind of curious. What do you do when someone's super arrogant?
I don't know. I haven't run into a lot of arrogant people in my life. There's a guy I worked with, I won't say his name, but he would say things to me like every time he would take the garbage out, he'd come back and tell me about how all these women were checking him out. And I was always really confused. I thought he was joking, and it turned out he wasn't joking because he was eventually fired for sexual harassment.
Oh.
And my my reaction in this particular case was just confusion. I could never tell if he was joking, and I never really wanted to like push back because I didn't want to burst his bubble.
wow.
Well,
I wonder, there must be guys who live in a constant state of horniness. You know what I mean? Like they just assume like everybody's thinking fucking
it's
sex all the time.
Johnny Bravo syndrome, man. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Jason, didn't you work with a guy at a bar back when you were a bouncer and he used to just talk about fucking girls up the ass all the time? I remember in that right.
Yeah, I know that. He was ugly, man. I don't think he.
See what I mean?
It might have been one girl he did that with, probably. That's it. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
ugly.
Tim Dillon has a rant about like different types of personalities in high. It's actually I think it's maybe his best rant ever. But he talks about like uh like a guy who's always talking about pussy but never gets any. You know, like he's like, dude, is there gonna be any pussy at that party? I don't want to fucking go to that party if there's not gonna be any chicks there. And meanwhile, they never get pussy, but it's all they talk about and stuff. And I was like, damn, I knew people like that, man. That was the one topic of conversation, you know?
I'm with Austin on this one. I can't stand it when it's their focal point. And I'll
Yeah.
say that there were at least once or twice in Thailand where I was getting pussy a lot. It was just it was too much. And it was a headache, and the women and the personalities and the emotions. I was not happy. It was not a good time. So I never understood guys that constantly wanted it over and over again. I was like, dude, there's ramifications. The drama that comes with that. It's just no, it's not worth it.
Well, I will say this is something I'm quite proud of. For the last 10 days, me, William,
Every day you jacked
off,
off. 10 in a
off
row.
sex, no jerking off, nothing. 10 days straight, you know? And last night, I fucking dropped a load like it was Nagasaki. It was one of the great comes of my life.
Oh, God.
And I tell you what, man, there is nothing better than the release of 10 days.
I
Good
wish I could
God.
see your face when that happened. I'd love to see a Dean face. Yeah.
I'll put it to you. I think I set a record in terms of quantity. I don't think I've ever produced more cum in my life.
Look,
It could have.
You're making Austin uncomfortable. And I want to say too,
Shut the fuck up, Austin. I'm tired of you and your smug. Talk about arrogance. Look at that look on his face. So fucking arrogance. He thinks he's a
jeez.
Puritan. He's not a Puritan. All right. He's fucking every day and he knows it. All right. And I'm tired of him just dancing around this bullshit. I'm trying to share to the people something that was meaningful and powerful in my life. It was a great come. And let me just say some of the best moments in my life were truly magical moments of come. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
What
Best
if
moments of my life.
what if that was a politician speaking to the masses? I would vote for him. I'd be like,
I'd
me
vote
too.
for him too.
Me
I mean,
too.
that's the next evolution of Trump. That's
Yeah.
right there. That's the next evolution right there. You know, it's the grab him by the pussy moment that for the future. You
See,
know,
our father worries when like Dean talks about cum and stuff. I'm like, listen, man, if anyone ever asks Dean about talking about cum, everything he's saying is true. I mean,
it's true.
it's just is what it is, and it's true for everybody. People just don't like to say it because they associate it with being, I don't know why. I don't know.
And let me tell you, man, the post. I think this was my most profound instance of post nut clarity too,
Mm.
because like it was a different level. Like I ascended to a new plane because it wasn't just like a clarity of man, I feel good now. It was like a oh my god, with balance, I can have total control of my person. You know, like if I could learn to control these primal desires within me more potently, you know, and use them properly, they could be the ultimate highs and it can keep the rest of my life more peaceful. You know, it was a real sense of balance. You know, that's why you can't do it every day. You got to do it appropriately, you know.
I think you walked onto something. I think the problem with that is people take abstinence way too seriously, but you just need spurts. You need like a good chunk of time, and then you need a release. You need a little bit of time, and that time looks different for everybody. But this idea of never doing it again is,
Yeah.
it's a little insane. I don't think it's
It's
healthy.
about control. Control. There should be control, you know. And I think that it also like makes the intimacy much better. You know what I mean? Like I think that there's a when there's a degree of what's the word? Delayed gratification. Yeah, it always heightens the experience, I think, you know.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm big into moderation. Like, I don't believe, everyone has bad habits. Like, cannabis is, thought by some people to be a bad habit. But I found it actually enhances my life if I use it just occasionally, like once a week. It's a life enhancer,
Wow.
maybe even twice a week. But if you're using it every day, there's definite diminishing returns and it turns against you. And I think a lot of things are like that. It's like there's a lot of things that aren't necessarily good for you to do every day, but they're life enhancing if you do them occasionally. I don't
All
know.
right, Austin, this is a purely medical question. All right. What is the appropriate amount of sex on a weekly basis?
I couldn't tell you that. But you're supposed to release a number of times a month to reduce chances of prostate cancer. So I would just go with that, I suppose. I'll go with the medical science on that one, Dean.
All right. I'm going to tell you guys right now. All right. 3 times a week. 3 times a week. I'm very happy. 3 times a week.
Some would
Keeps me
call
very
that
motivated.
excessive. I
Three
this
times a week?
this
Really?
this looks different for everybody, dude. Beginning a relationship 3 times a day. By the end
Oh,
of a
yeah.
relationship,
Oh,
three
yeah.
times spread
Dude,
out
I'm
over
in year
months.
five. Year five of this relationship, man. So yeah, I think 3 times a week is very healthy. But yeah, those first few days of relative, you can go nonstop, man. Nonstop, yeah. But I think that that's a healthy number.
When I did couples and when it got to the
Mm,
sex, it was never the same for anybody. And the ones that were better off, it worked. Sometimes it was once in a blue moon. Sometimes it was
mm.
once a week. Sometimes it was multiple times a week. I think sexuality is important to match with your partner. I think that's important, but I think intensity or less intensity just depends on the dynamic.
And that's just sex. I mean, if we're talking about just pure intimacy, intimacy is something that happens every day,
Foot
you
massage, you
know?
mean?
Like,
Yeah.
oh, sure. Dude, yesterday, oh man. So yesterday was Wang Di Day. Wang Di Day means Emperor Day, which means that I get special treatment. We have these special days. We in Here's what happened, right? We have a stool in the shower, a little wooden stool. Asians like to sit down in a shower. They're big into that. I sit down, get the full 45-minute shower massage. It was fantastic, man. Head massage, got everything rubbed down.
Son
I
of a
didn't
bitch.
talk the entire time because the sensation was so good, man. I really love Long D Day is the best day,
Well,
man.
let me ask you this. Your greatest massage story. You can see if you can remember this. There's one thing you said, Chase, if you ever come to China, I'm gonna take you to go do this.
Do you mean the Shanghai massage place?
There was an activity. Let's see if you
Massage.
get it. Guess.
There's two great massages are number one, the Ray Lee head massage with the little Maymar girl who I think is Chase's future wife. Yes, I think that's the case. Chase, how do you feel about a tiny woman? I mean like
She's
5 foot,
fit. She's fit. Dude,
tiny,
5 foot
very
powerhouse is fun, man. Yeah.
fucking fit, man. Little Maymar. Oh, I remember seeing her like that's his future wife. That there she goes, right
Well,
there. Yeah.
be happy to meet her.
Yeah.
What I was referencing, there was some type of club for men only, and you go in and you do the X, and that guy has a glove and he gets right up in your butt and he scrubs you
Oh,
clean.
that's not the best. That's called a tuotsao. Tuotsao is you can do that anywhere, man. I go get a tuotsao every week, man.
Really?
Yeah,
I feel like
it's
that's
oh
me
yeah.
becoming a man if I can let another man clean my butt with a.
You know what he did the other day? He fucking took the skin off my feet. He did the big grind,
Did it hurt?
and yeah. No, but he showed me after he's like oh, he pointed to all the skin he took off. He was proud of it. He was like, I took off so much fucking skin from your feet, man.
So
He
is
just loved
this
it.
is
Yeah.
this job he has? Is this like a respected job that he has?
It's a job. I mean, I don't know if it's respected, but
Okay.
they're professionals. They're pros. Like these guys know how to scrub your balls. Like they really take pride in it,
I'm
you
sorry,
know.
was it the butt or the balls that they're cleaning?
It's the balls. They do like your
Oh.
total cock and GG,
They're
all that
touching
stuff.
your dick too?
Oh yeah,
These are these are straight men?
all right. Let me just see. Oh yeah, it's all totally straight. Like so, it's sauna, right? You got all your tubs and your dry sauna and all that sort of stuff. And in the back, they got all these tables like all lined up with a bunch of like dudes, right? Everybody's naked. You get on the table and they scrub you down with like salt,
You
right?
laying down?
Yeah, you're laying down naked on this table,
How
and like there's
close are you
tons
to
of
the other
guys.
guy? How close are we?
Oh, right next to you, right next to you,
They're
right next to
touching
you, man.
you?
No, not the other guys, but there's tables. There's like
Y-
12 tables all lined up. You know what I mean?
So you got your
Yeah,
own table you're lying on.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. You
Okay.
got your own table, and the guy he scrubs. He's like, it's rough, like and then they flip you over, and they like get you in between the buns, flip you over again, and they totally do your ball sack and stuff like that. Get it all scrubbed up, and then they scrub you down, and then you can do like special stuff, or you can do a head massage, or you can do like they clip your toenails, like scrub your feet, all that sort of shit. It's great. It's great, man. I love it. Like it's a degree of hedonism that I think is appropriate for every life. You know what I mean?
Uh,
Bathing is extremely important. I
wh-
love a good
if
cleaning.
if I came to China with Austin, I would expect to do that. I think Austin would wuss out. I don't think he would be man enough to step up.
Austin, are you comfortable being naked?
I don't know, in front of a bunch of Chinese men. Sounds
Why? What is it? That sounds racist. Why are you being racist? I don't understand.
He doesn't
So
want
if
to
it was white,
intimidate him.
yeah, I don't know.
Austin, how about this? Could you be naked in front of me, your stepbrother, your
No,
gay stepbrother?
no, no,
What about Chase?
no, I'm just not for it. You know, my personality.
What,
I'm not.
what about your brothers? Could you do it in front of Garrett?
I don't. We don't do that in front of each other. I was growing in a very conservative household. I've never seen
You're
them
missing
naked.
out. This is one of the great things. I was kind of hoping that we'd have our, like naked ritual, out there in Alabama, dancing around and
No, to
stuff.
be fair, that's intimidating. If I went over there, I would have to pump myself up before I went in there. All right, man, you can do this. Like this is scary.
I
Like, dude, some
I
guy
don't understand.
grabbing my balls and cleaning my ass, that's different. That's different, dude. I've never had that.
But everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing. And by the
I'm doing it.
way,
I'm doing it. I'll do it.
your dick is bigger than everybody in China. It is like my dick. I got the biggest
It
dick in
has
Asia.
nothing to
You
do
know
with
what I
a
mean?
dick. Trust me. It's about the hand in my
Like,
butt. That's what it's all. That's what.
I don't know. It's one of the great experiences. But Chase, I'd take you to the head massage, man. And in
Can I
Shanghai,
get my ears
single.
clean too? I've been wanting to get my ears
Oh
clean.
yeah. Oh, dude, you know how they do the ear clean? Oh man, this is one of the great things. So like in the Myanmar girls, and all the Myanmar people are Buddha. They're all killing each other, but the refugees ran to China, and they're all super chill. Like they radiate. Remember Song, David's wife? Like they
Yep.
radiate that energy. You know what I mean? Just peaceful. So this is the woman doing your head massage. And how they do the head clean is you got the whole thing's done in like a head massage sink. Like when you go to get your hair washed, like it's all done in the sink. So they fill it up with the water and stuff. So here's what they do. They they plunge your ear with water. They fill up the entire ear with water, and then they go in with the tools while it's full of the water. So it's like you have the sensation of the water moving through the ear and stuff, and then they flip your ear and they give you they have it down. They have a tap like a 1, 2, 3, and all the water comes out perfectly. And it's one of the great sensations, man. I told him the other one. Last time I did, I says, "Nisha wo cheese," which means you are my wife. I told her that, and she was like, and I felt like I could marry this woman. She was
Well,
true.
I'd love to meet her. And I
Mm.
love getting my ears clean. I love doing it. I love cleaning my even when they're clean, I still clean my ears just because it feels
Every
good.
day,
Feels good.
every day. Yeah, addicted. Austin, how often do you clean your ears?
Uh, well, I heard that you're supposed to use like paper towel and use your pinky, and you're not really supposed to get in deep because you could damage the eardrum.
Man,
So,
I'm
every
yeah.
few days.
I'm seeing a theme here. Caution, conservatism, preventing you from reaching the levels you need to get to. And I feel bad for you, Austin. I feel like you're really missing out, man. A deep ear clean. It's one of the great pleasures of life, man.
Yeah.
Chase, wouldn't you agree?
Head massage and you clean my ears. I would. I very well could marry you. Yeah.
Sounds extremely reckless and dangerous, and I wouldn't partake personally. This is from a guy that rides a motorcycle every day.
I ride a motorcycle every day.
That's not true.
It is a fine, fine motorcycle.
What kind of
Sc-
motorcycle are you riding
Scooter,
there?
motorcycle. It's the same thing.
Dude, let me tell you what I got. I got my Neunda electric e-bike. This thing, dude, this thing can fucking go. All right. Like I'm passing old ladies like they're nothing. All right. And then you know what the best part is? Eco-friendly, Austin. And tell me, how eco-friendly is your bike?
Extra. I mean, the small bike, it's like 100 miles to the gallon. And I
A
think
gallon of what? A
gallon of
gallon of
fuel.
that black devil liquid, that black gold, huh? That you use to support the oil companies. I tell you what, man, I'm seeing the real you now. Conservative, fossil fuel guzzling. That's who you are, sir.
Yeah. Well, it happened when I started studying World War II, and I woke up one day and I was a conservative. But I wonder, where does all that electricity come from, Dean? Do you think it comes from coal
Nuclear power.
power plants?
Nuclear power.
That's what the
China's the
Chinese might want to tell you.
leading nuclear power producer in the world. And you know what the best part? Dude, check this out. Austin, what's your electricity bill every month? Like you got a small, how much you pay every month electricity?
Yeah, it's small. I mean, it's less than $100, so
Okay,
it
Chase.
depends.
Hawaii, what's like the electric bill there? Hawaii is fucking brutal.
Dude, I have no AC, no heat. I run fans occasionally and keep all the lights off, except at night, maybe one or two. One on a cheap month, 130 on a bad month, closer to 200.
All right, so this place right where I am, where I'm at, we're running electricity all the time. We got multiple computers, all kinds of shit going all the time. You know, we're pumping electricity constantly. Guess how much my electricity bill is every month?
$35,
Less,
15,
less.
$8.
$5. $5 a month. 5 fucking bucks. They solved power
Let
in
me ask you
China.
this.
It's not an issue anymore, man. It's just
What
not. They
what
fucking
is the
solved
da is there a big danger to nuclear, or are you it's super, it's
it. Not
safer. It's
anymore.
just got a bad rep.
Yeah, it's got a bad rep because of that, Chernobyl and all that shit. But the truth is, like, nuclear power answers all the problems. It really does. Like, it is virtually limitless power. And in terms of, like, people don't understand, like, the fallout in Chernobyl is what people think of, but actually, nuclear power doesn't produce much pollution at all. It's way, way cleaner than coal,
Dude, I
and
would
it's
do it, but the hippies would kill you.
industrial.
The hippies will never let it happen, ever.
In China, there's no such thing as hippies. I
I,
was talking to somebody
beautiful,
the other day.
beautiful.
You know, I was trying to explain punk to this guy, and they were playing cyberpunk, and I was like, yeah, they're like, what's punk? And I was like, punk was this, UK movement and all this, and they're like, we never had this in China. I was like, you guys never had like punk? No. Did you guys have
Punk,
goths? No. Did you guys
punk.
have emo? No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, yeah.
Like that's all indicative of like Western culture and
So,
shit,
so my question is, what would a teenage rebellion look like in China?
A teenage rebellion in China looks like I'm not going to do my work at school. I'm not going to do my work. I choose to. I can't take the pressure anymore. I'm going to stop working.
And what do they
Shut
do
down.
with them? What happens?
This is an interesting question. They're starting to rethink how to deal with this. The old way was smack them, but now the government intervenes and you send them to be evaluated. You know,
From the person like myself,
someone that's from the government.
they should hire me for all the crazy English speakers, all and analyze them and write whatever they tell me to
Remember
write.
New
That,
York University. You remember they were gonna hire you, man, down in Tianjin, I think, right? New York University.
no, not New York University. No, it was what's the
You,
people the play instruments? What is that? Juilliard.
Juilliard. That's even better, man. Like, could have been one of those guys. Dealt with the Whiplash kids. Good
I
God.
tried. I tried. Tried hard.
Could you imagine dealing with a Whiplash kid? Like, this drum teacher he's breaking me. He's breaking me. I don't know if I could take it. Like,
It's like
that
I'd
would
be
be
like, suck it up, boy.
suck it up, bitch.
Yeah.
Suck it up.
Yeah. That'd be great to be a psychologist for the Chinese government. Just Chase, here's just write this exactly and we'll pay you a lot of money. Like, okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, they're taking it very seriously because the suicide rate is such a problem here. Like,
I
there's
could
so
fix
many
that. Tell them I could fix that for them or make it go down.
cured, cured.
They would
Chase
be, we
found out.
hire you. If it goes down, you're fine. If it goes up, we kill you. Like,
Chase, we would, but your references aren't checking out.
huh.
So, all right, we're not going to let you come through.
Yeah. Dude, that anyway. Yeah. I never liked the idea of references, man. It's just I
I
understand it,
know.
but it's superficial.
You know what? I miss the old days where it was an interview. Couldn't it just be an interview? We'd be fine if we could just do an interview, man.
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be. You know,
Yeah.
let's have a vibe check. A vibe check. I don't like your vibe. I do like your vibe. That's all you need, and then move from there.
Yeah. Maybe have lunch with them too, you know. Now you've moved on to lunch. We're gonna go eat a meal together. See how that
Yeah.
goes.
Oh man, I'll tell you something else. Like, so I teach history or whatever, and I work in IB, International Baccalaureate, and they just changed the history curriculum for next year. Oh my God, Chase. This shit will it would make Ben Shapiro lose his goddamn mind. You know, check this out. So they I've always it's always been the same ever since I've taught. I do 20th century. You know, like World War One, World War Two, Cold War, authoritarian states, things like that. They got rid of that. They're like, no more, no more 20th century, no more World War Two and stuff. And I was like, okay, so what's next? What are we going to talk about and stuff? Check this out. There, the I have to dedicate one entire year of history, one a full year to marginalized groups. Like not not World War II, World War One, Civil War, Revolutionary, none of that's it's just a full year to marginalized groups throughout all the ages.
Why?
Right? Like this is the command of the curriculum. I have to do it. It's just this is
Why don't
now
they
what I
call it the correct term, everybody but white, right?
Chase, I didn't say that. I said
But
marginalized.
that's so Western. Are they trying to teach them this is how the lunatic Americans think? You need to know this, or
On Wednesday, there's going to be a conference, and I'm going to attend digitally, and they'll tell me exactly what's what. But that's all that they said. They're like, this is the first year is dedicated to marginalized groups, and I was like, what does that mean? What is that like? Do we go to like ancient Rome and we're going to talk about the marginalized Gauls, or I mean, I don't know. I don't know what that means.
that means you're
So
going to get the recent modern history of every race in the world and their struggles to be equal.
I don't know. I don't know, but I'm gonna have to like learn a whole new bunch of history that I don't know anything about. So
So, Dean, as a history teacher, you hear this.
yeah,
What is the proper way to teach history? Keep it the same? Would you tune it up? What would you do?
I think the best way to teach history is to teach the most exciting narrative possible, and like that way the kids are interested. Which is why World War II is so great. Kids are always into World War
I
II,
never was.
you know, and or Vietnam, right? Kids love Vietnam and
Okay.
uh or like okay, I'll give you another one like the 1920s. Like the 1920s, people love the 1920s because it's just this period of radical change, new art, new fashion, new rights, new things like that. But anyways, you have the most interesting narrative possible for kids, and then you go as in depth into that singular narrative as possible. You show them here's some primary sources, here's some top historians, here's an example of historiography in this place. And you start showing them how deep you can go into a single narrative. So, like, for example, the World War One book I'm reading now, right? Like, there's this French general called Joffre, and Joffre basically kills half the French army in over a week of the first week, like 500,000 dead, you know, and he's adjusting to modern war and stuff. But guess what this guy does every day? No matter what's happening, no matter what is fucking happening, like there could be bombs dropping down beside him. He demands it's 11 o'clock. He goes to his chateau, and for the next hour, he eats a fabulous French meal. And he doesn't take any calls, doesn't take any messages. Every day, 11 o'clock, doesn't matter what's going on. He has his fabulous French lunch. So this is happening like at the Battle of Verdun, like the Battle of Verdun. He's like, okay, I'll have no orders for the next hour. I'm going to have my roast chicken and stuff like that. And you break down those moments of like weird little intricacies and you try to see how can this 1 hour lunch have an effect on the outcome of the Battle of Verdun, right? Like, did his delay of taking orders and giving orders cause the deaths of thousands and thousands? Like looking at little moments like that and trying to show how those details matter. And then from then on, you expand to other narratives. But you have that first initial really good one.
That's a
And yeah,
great
that's what I would.
breakdown. So instead of teaching marginalized groups, they should just teach different cultural groups. Like, we're going to review every one of them. We're not going to talk
Uh,
about how they had it
yeah,
rough or
that's fine.
better. You just take an objective stance.
There's a great book called Christian Slaves, Muslim Masters. I remember reading this in grad school, and it was about like the Islamic caliphates that went up into Italy and Spain, and they took Christians and they were slaves, like in Istanbul and and Tehran and stuff like that, and they had like whole lives, like that was a marginalized group for sure. But we don't talk about it very much. I'm happy to talk about marginalized groups, but just hopefully in a greater narrative context.
Do I understand it correctly that you're in like an American school with an American curriculum? Were you talking be talking
No,
about American marginalized
British. It's British, right?
people?
it's international, but it's by IB. It's international. It's like the whole point is that it's not associated with any curriculum from any country. It is internationally focused.
Okay. Yeah, because I thought these kind of turns in education were like primarily in the US. Maybe I'm mistaken there.
Oh
There's
no,
like
not at all. Not at
okay.
all. No, like it's certainly Western in its focus, but the idea of like focusing on um, marginalized groups that the big transitions that happened in history is in the early 2000s there was this thing called transnationalism, which is just the idea that history needs to look beyond nationality, right? Like you don't think of like World War I or from the German perspective or from the British perspective. Instead, you look at it as like a global phenomenon and these groups of people who aren't necessarily identified with a nation, like how are they interacting, right? um so that transitions even more into like, okay, so if there's not nationalities, what are there? And so this is where, race, ethnicity, queer studies, anything you would associate with like modern literature, it also happens in history. You know what I mean? Less so today, but certainly very, very in vogue.
Hmm.
I know this is all. I shouldn't be talking history. It's terribly boring. Terribly boring. But that's what's going on in my life.
I hate that marginalized group shit, dude. I hate it. I mean, just I would like it more if it was like everyone but white people. This is what we're teaching everyone but white people. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. It's at least they
Yeah.
call it what it is, man. Yeah, they would make us listen to at the hospital every year that sexual and racial training, like a cartoon. It always came out of it more racist. Like I was like, I didn't really care, but now I kind of hate Mexicans, and I go tell my Latin boss, like, man, I can't fucking stand you, dude. Yeah, and he
Well,
told me,
I don't think it's the idea that bothers you really, Chase. I think it's your guilt, the the stimulation of your white guilt that's just under the
you know
surface,
what it'd
and
be in those
you don't.
examples, those cartoons, if they had a black person making fun of a white person at work, I'd be like, oh, that happens too. Now we're getting somewhere. I like that. Yeah.
I feel like we could go down this road. I think it's
Take us
always a
down another
pendulum.
road. Take us down another road also.
There's a pendulum swing, and I do think that when you shove things down people's throats, a lot of people are just contrarians, and they'll just do the opposite. But at least in my own life, living in the South, I just never really experienced a lot of racism, and it was never a big deal in my existence until the news told me how terrible it was and brought it into my
Austin,
consciousness.
Yep.
I am curious. Have you ever met anyone whiter than you?
Of course.
You may be the whitest person I know in terms, and I'm not talking about like your personality. I mean your skin color. Like you kind of haunt us with your whiteness. You know what I mean? All you Elrods, like you guys are just pasty, pasty, pasty people. So are you the whitest person you know?
Man, they ain't even Irish, I don't think, or anything like that.
Yeah,
You're
one of my
Indian,
favorite.
of course. Yeah. Chippewa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my favorite chapters of Moby Dick is when he talks about the whiteness and how scary it is. And I like to think of myself like that. I think of the whiteness a terrifying color, and I understand why people were afraid of white people for so long. And sometimes I scare myself when I look in the mirror. But I have, a lot of my family members are pale, Dean. Some type of
Austin,
attack against white people.
do you
Have
ever
you
have
internalized as marginal group stuff?
He's talking to a Chinese man, Austin.
Oh, he's
Austin?
Chinese. I understand.
Do you have Moby Dick?
I don't even have a physical copy, but it is one of my favorite books.
I don't know, man. Is your dick Moby? That's what I'm asking. That's what I mean. How Moby is your dick?
I
You
know
know?
Moby is a sci-fi writer, I
Did
think.
did
So
I tell you when I was in Cambodia, I met there's a little club with this guy, took me to this club and he's like, he met these girls. She's like, oh, she was flirting. She's like, do you have the GWP? You ever heard of the
GW.
GWP?
What's that? What's that?
The Great White Pipe.
Hey,
I like that.
dude.
I love that. I
You
was like, yeah,
know,
I do. I was like, yeah, that's right. Very
the
well.
other day on YouTube, I saw a guy he went on a big long rant about Cabin Boy, Chase's favorite old movie.
It's a good movie.
And do you remember this guy claims this is the famous line from the movie. Do you remember any line from the movie, Chase? I remember this line. What's the most famous line from that movie, do you think?
Dance, dance, blue lightning. That can't be a good thing. Oh, poke, I'm getting poked to death. Poked to death. What
Oh
an
man.
obituary. Yeah.
Here's what he said. Remember this moment where Chris Elliott steps out
The
of the
my
cave and he
small
goes,
dick teacher or something?
no, he's like, my pipes are clean.
No,
You know?
no. That line,
Yeah,
that movie had great
my
lines.
pipes are clean. Yeah.
Yeah.
David Letterman's one movie. That's the only movie David Letterman ever did right there.
He directed that?
No, 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 no. But he has an appearance. Remember at the very beginning? And he's like, whoa, what's going on,
Fancy
little
lad.
girl? What's
Oh, you little
there?"
fancy lad. Fancy girl. Fancy lad. That's right. Yeah.
Remember, and Chase, you remember where he's going to retire to? He's going to retire to, he's going off to run his resort in Hawaii. The rest
Did
of
you remember the name of the boat?
the Filthy Whore. Yeah, of
It's
course. That was a great name. The
great
Filthy
pirate
Whore.
ship name. Yeah, that was fun. That was good.
So this movie apparently it wasn't going to be like that. But do you know what? So the original person who was going to direct the movie was Tim Burton, right? Like the fucking
Oh yeah. Probably better
weird
he
guy.
didn't. Probably better he didn't.
Well, so that's why it's so weird because they thought they were making a movie for Tim Burton. They thought there was going to be like all these weird creatures and fucking cupcakes that spit tobacco and all this sort of stuff. And yeah, like in the end, he pulled out to do Ed Wood instead. But
What was that actor's name that played the cabin boy? I saw him in the
Chris
other
Elliott,
Chris Elliott.
Chris
No,
Elliott,
I
yeah,
watched
he
some
was
clip.
funny, man.
He was, you know what clip I'm thinking of? He's in another movie that's pretty famous, kind of.
No, I don't remember, but he was
he
big for a
was in
while.
like a comedy, I think it was called Scary Movie, right?
He
The
was
He
in
was
Scary
hands.
he
Movie.
was in
Yeah,
Groundhog Day. He was in the serious movie
he was the
Groundhog Day.
cameraman. Yeah, I
Yes,
forgot about
he sucked.
that.
He
Yeah,
was just a guy. But Scary Movie 2, he had that arm. And I was
yeah.
watching that clip the other day. The guy's falling to his death. He's grab my strong hand. He's like, no way, man.
Give me the other one. And he's like, I
No,
can't.
grab
It's
my strong hand. And he dies. He
too...
just dies.
Yeah, man.
That was
He's
the right
good.
decision. You let go. Yeah. Yeah.
So as this whole YouTube video I watched, that Chris Elliott guy, like he was kind of big in the '90s and stuff. But he said after that movie Cabin Boy, he was done. Still, like no one would hire him. He's like, yeah, I never got a job
Oh,
after
I
that.
thought he should have
They
been
all
extended to
said,
godlike status. You know, another
yeah, no,
good movie
no.
that was kind of weird like that was that Nacho Libre. That was a great movie. It's a
People
great little
still like.
movie.
I think people respect Nacho Libre. It was a good, solid little movie.
That was more
Yeah.
than that was just wholesome in the best
Awesome.
possible way. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
What
I think
about the
it came
movie
in the
that
meat.
almost
They said it was
Coneheads.
racist.
Coneheads was the perfect movie.
well, I was
That's
gonna
true.
bring up Dan Aykroyd. There's a movie he made that almost ruined him. Nothing but
Nothing
trouble.
but trouble. Oh yeah, Chase, have you ever seen? You ever seen this?
I don't think I have, or maybe I
All
have.
right, Chase, let me set this up, man. Demi Moore, fresh after Ghost, right? So this is like peak Demi Moore. She's beautiful. Chevy Chase, Dan Aykroyd, right? Like it's a star-studded cast, man. You know, what do you think this movie is about? Just take a random guess with
What's
nothing
it's
but
called?
trouble.
What's it called? Nothing but
Nothing but
trouble.
trouble.
Wait,
Nothing
wasn't
but
John
trouble.
Candy in the movie too?
John Candy.
It
John
was.
Candy is in this
It had
movie. Yeah.
Tupac in the movie as well at
It
the
had
end.
Tupac in the movie too. I forgot about that. Holy shit. Yeah.
Demi's a whore and she's fucking everybody.
No,
I don't
no.
know.
All right. Austin, can you provide a
Probably
synopsis
not.
of this movie?
Why not, Chase? Why can't I provide a synopsis of
I want to
Nothing
be
But Trouble?
stimulated. I want you to give it the Dean effort. Go ahead. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
Enif. I like that.
I don't remember exactly. Well,
Oh
like
my God.
okay, Chevy Chase and that girl were arrested.
Or-
They were brought to you're right. It's like them trying to escape captivity, essentially. Like I don't know if there's a lot of like narrative beyond that.
Okay, Demi Moore is asked to borrow Chevy Chase's car, and they're driving with two Brazilians, and they go to Vulcan, Pennsylvania, which is like this weird, strange town with all this sci-fi shit happening. They get arrested because Chevy Chase runs a stop sign, and they become like the puppets of this evil judge who has a penis for a nose. I kid you not, he has a penis for a nose, right? And they put him in this haunted house mansion, and there's like crazy like mutated babies going around that are doing all kinds of stuff. They kill multiple people in this house. They have like I can't even explain to you. It's a comedy though. It's a comedy.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
comedy. Does
I
it make you laugh?
it is more you laugh at the I cannot fucking believe what I am seeing in this movie. It is so absurd. Like
Bad or
it's
good?
crazy. Just
Crazy.
crazy. Crazy. Yeah.
They dumped an enormous amount of money into it. It's like the set piece, like everything was super well done. It was like a high production movie, but it did very poorly in the box office. It's one of those movies that did poorly and it became like a cult classic as as the years went
I don't
on.
know.
But
Is it a cult classic? Is it?
yeah, but after it came out, Dan Aykroyd was writing people that were in the movie were like, "I'm so sorry, I failed you as a director. Like, I apologize. This is not your fault." And like, he took it really badly. It was a really a box office failure.
But Dan Aykroyd's genuinely crazy. Like he believes he's hardcore into
Crystal
ghosts and aliens.
skulls. He believes in the crystal skulls.
Yeah, he really does believe it all. You
I
know.
hope
So
I
like
find one that they're missing. Oh,
I saw him on Larry King. You know, and they're like, my kids ask me about ghosts and like that. And all these ghosts, is it real? Does it exist? And I have to tell them. I have to tell them the truth. Yes, yes, it does. You know, and like he to his heart, to his bones, really believes it all.
I like a believer. I like the zealot. I love that about him. And he did Coneheads, which was, he came back with Coneheads, which again I've been thinking about that all week. I was like, that might be the perfect movie. Might be.
What do you think
Wouldn't
about Ghostbusters?
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it either, but this was one of the biggest movies ever. It was huge, and I don't understand why. Like, I just it didn't click with me properly. I like Bill Murray. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think he's funny and stuff, but for some reason, that was one of the biggest films of the '80s. You know?
I don't know. I've seen it once or twice. Groundhog Day was his masterpiece. To that day, if I could remake one movie, Chase, you can star in one movie, Groundhog Day. It would be great.
Yeah.
No, it would be fucking unbelievable. Be great.
You know what I saw the other day? Yesterday, actually, because I have the Divine Brothers YouTube channel up here. It had suggested to me Scott Sterling. You remember that, Chase?
Oh
Scott
yeah.
Sterling.
They had two
Uh,
videos that were great. That's it. Yeah.
I hadn't watched that since Chase showed it. Austin, this is maybe one of the hardest I've ever seen Chase laugh in my life. Have you ever seen Scott Sterling, Austin?
No, I have no clue.
You know what? I'm not even going to spoil it just so you can enjoy it and watch it for yourself, you know. But I'll put it to you this way. I learned one thing about my brother. There are few things he enjoys more than other people in pain. He loves seeing
And who
people
do we
in
get that from, Dean?
Vic.
Our mom and our father. It's a double dose.
Mom like it? Does mom like it
Oh
too?
yeah. People in pain is hilarious to our family. And it was
I,
passed down.
I like when have I seen mom truly like uncontrollably laughing? I'm drawing a blank. I can't really remember.
I have
Vic, I remember many times like uncontrollably laughing, but mom, I'm drawing a blank there. Yeah.
See, I have like foggy memories of people falling down or getting hurt and laughing with mom. It's like, look at that idiot, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
her side makes fun of ugly people. That's her side of the family, and our other side makes fun of people getting hurt. So it's a crude sense.
Yeah.
It's crude, man. It's crude. It's not well
Crude.
refined. It's like a crude oil.
Nothing wrong with crude. Crude can be, in fact, I think crude can be the funniest of all funny.
As long as you don't fucking throw it everywhere,
Yeah.
you keep that intimate.
That was what that Scott Sterling video almost has 100 million views.
I know.
Almost 100 million. Like, and that is just pain. It is just somebody in horrific pain.
It's well
But I'll
done
tell you what
pain.
sells it. The announcers. The announcers are
That one announcer, he should. I would have hired him. I was like, listen, I do the professional league, and we want to hire you, man. Dean, to this day, thank you for reminding me. I still think it's the greatest idea in all of sports. No two announcers for every game. You have the fucking voice of that team paired
Mhm.
with the voice of the other team, and they go at it
Yeah. Like
on
the
air.
radio guys, the local radio
Yes.
guys, like the Bama radio guy versus the Auburn radio guy. Oh, that'd be
That's
good.
great ATV. In fact, I'm just gonna take it upon myself, take that up as a side project. I'm gonna make that happen. I'm gonna make it
Oh,
happen.
yeah.
I'm gonna put
That
it on
would
this channel too. Yeah.
problem is, there'd probably be some altercations. You know what I
That's
mean?
what you
Like
want. You know it's coming. That's what people are there for, man. They're there for the altercation. Yeah.
I have a deep appreciation for announcers. There was a brief period like in China. Okay, this is just a weird China thing. In China, they love pool. They love pool. Like there's pool halls all over the place. The kids on TikTok watch pool. You know, like they love pool.
Do they
So
watch that money, the Green Mile? No, the color of money.
no, I don't know what that is.
This with Tom Cruise and fucking Newsom,
You mean the Hustler? The
mm,
Hustler?
no, I can't remember. I'm going hazy. They
Well,
play pool. They're
anyways,
pool sharks.
the I started watching pool a little bit, you know, and I got into like old British pool from like the 70s and stuff. And there are these announcers. These are Chase, the pool announcers are maybe the greatest announcers of all time. There's this guy called Sid Waddell, and he is so epic, right? Like, so there's this guy named Eric Bristow. Eric Bristow is like a world champion pool table, and he just won the championship. And this guy's so excited. He gets up there and he goes, "When Alexander of Macedon was only 28, he cried salt tears that there were no more worlds to conquer. Eric Bristow's only 25." You know what I
Dean,
mean?
Dean,
Like,
Dean, that's what you look for. You look for an
uh,
historian that is passionate about some type of sports team. That's who you hire. That's who you hire.
yeah. He had another one. He said, "That's the greatest comeback since Lazarus."
So,
Like, he came back from the dead. That's so
uh,
good.
let me ask you this. Do you think you could teach that skill, the to be a great announcer, at least a decent one? Could we take an Austin and make him into an announcer? Is that possible? Or is that just like, get might as well put
This
him
is
doing? There's no hope.
no, yeah. There's no hope for Austin. No, but I will say this that I think that you can take there is a skill to speaking, and I've helped a lot of kids with public speaking, right? But if the personality is not there, it's hopeless, right? This is the reason why like uh, Shaq and Charles Barkley, you know, do so well on that inside the NBA because they got the personality. The personality is more than enough to carry that show on forever. You know what I mean? And like, if you don't like, that was the problem with Monday Night Football after John Madden left. They never really found a good personality. You know, they never found that like iconic like quotes, like fucking. You want to hear that voice, you know, and it's important.
I miss John Madden. Man, John Madden was great. He was fantastic. I forgot about him.
Iconic, iconic man. You know,
Nobody has
like
ever come close. You get these uppity anyway. Yeah, and then they put women in announcing. Like, yeah, let's hear a woman talk about
dude,
sports.
did we
Yeah.
talk about the gambling in the NBA? Did we talk about that story? Did we
Dude,
talk about that?
accusations on the UFC and gambling coming out too.
Really? What's so what? People taking dives, that sort of shit,
They
or
had a fight and the odds on one side spiked for like a rear naked choke. Guy got rear naked choked. Like it was unbelievably
oh,
obvious.
fucking
They think they
wow.
might just be the fighters, but dude, the NBA and the fighters, man. But
What was that Chauncey,
it'll be
whatever?
football soon, dude. Sports. I cannot watch football because I know it's controlled. I'm like, that's planted. That's like it's
You could
so
feel it, huh?
obvious. It happens every game. And the NBA, they just call a foul whenever they want. So it's oh, they're getting caught. I'm like, of course they're getting caught. Of course, man.
Dude, I do not understand how that can be tolerated. Like, don't isn't there like a where's the integrity?
But no,
Don't
no.
people have a
What
sense of
it
integrity?
is, it's like someone linked to the team. So it's like, let's say LeBron, hey, you know what? My ankle kind of, I'm not going to play tonight. And we're not going to tell anybody till right before tip off.
That's exactly what the
Somebody hears,
Texan
somebody
people.
passes it to the bookie, and they're only just a grunt. Yeah,
Yep.
it's valuable
Dude,
information.
That shit is. I just don't understand. Why aren't people abso-fucking-lutely furious? You know what I mean? Like to me, that just tells
It's
me
hard
there's
to
no point
prove.
gambling.
Hard to prove.
No, apparently they got the evidence, man. They got the coach, that coach on the NBA. He was fucking doing it. The head coach was making shit. You know, like, dude, that shit is so twisted and backwards. It just makes me feel like everything's rigged. There's no point on betting on anything because you'll never be inside. You'll never be inside. You know,
That is the nature of man to rig it in his advantage. It's just, I don't know how you get rid of that. I mean, look at
should
Austin.
they?
He would rig anything in his favor. Yeah.
Should you ban gambling? Do you think it
No.
should? I think
Gambling brings in so much money, man. There's so many losers that give into that, and it gives you a jolt to life. If you win a big gambling moment, there is no greater high. And if you lose, you usually beat your stepson. But
dude, I think it's getting bad, man. I keep hearing these stories of like it is ruining people, like ruining fucking like millions of lives. I mean, I haven't personally seen it, but that's what I'm hearing.
so what,
I
you
don't know if that's
outlaw it? Is
bullshit.
that it? Because it ruins
Well, we've done
lives?
that before. We've done it before. We've
Does that
we've
work?
outlawed.
Then it's just illegal and you find a bookie. It doesn't work. You have to allow people to engage in their vice. You have to.
Not in
What
China. I mean, like, there's no marijuana here. There's no gambling here. Like they just said no, and society goes on all right.
That's their approach, man. It's more rigid. Austin,
It's better.
in some ways, it's better, man. Marijuana is fun. Yeah, I wouldn't want to live without marijuana, but I want some massages. I want my massages. That sounds nice. It's
I
got to
guess
be,
that's how they compensate. They get great massages, but you can't be high while getting it.
it's a damn shame. But that's Asia in general, man. No Asia country is really liberal with all the stuff.
I don't know. I just think that there's a real lack of virtue in America right now. And we need to put our foot down somewhere with some shit. And you know what? This gambling thing, it seems like bad news to me.
Yeah. There's a precipitous rise in deaths of despair, drug addiction, suicide, all that stuff. And we're definitely on a decline. I think a lot of it's economic, but a lot of it's like political as well.
Yeah. I mean, Dean, is it the same sentiment for the senator that has the inside stock info that makes the moves and he goes in
Yes.
worth 200,000, now he's worth 25 million?
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi retired this week, and like I mean, she really was a titan of Congress. Like she was a very, very powerful speaker. But you know what? I can only think of one thing: the millions and millions and millions her stock trading husband made off of her insider trading. You know what I mean? It's just so blatantly done. So blatantly done. I remember one AOC at the very beginning, the big thing she was pushing for was banning insider trading, banning stock trading for congressmen members, you know? I was like, great, okay, Republican, Democrat, we can all get behind this. This makes it shot down, totally shot down, and not just from the Republicans, Democratic Party too, including Pelosi. And I remember just thinking, it's rigged. It's all fucking rigged, and there's a reason people are losing faith because nobody's held to a standard if you got money.
Well, yeah, dude, you can buy your way out of anything. That means you got to have money. Yeah,
Well, good luck with that, Chase. You know.
thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Mm.
I don't know if it's purposeful, but I mean, Dean, you talk about it. Like people are not, especially young people, are not being raised to use their minds. They're addicted to social media. They don't even read books anymore. They're completely controlled by whatever social media they're attached to. And it makes them very shallow, vapid people who are craving, dopamine hits from social media companies that are then able to basically control their minds throughout their life and like interject their goals that they want to pursue and all this stuff. And there's no inner peace there. There's no
What?
contentment.
So what's the counter? Dean's like, all right, if there's a wave of corruption, like it's become rampant, we need to throw down the law, but outlaw it completely or make an example. Like you need
I'll
to
tell you
make,
exactly what the counter is. It's Zoran Mondani. Yeah.
oh yeah.
What? is that there's going to be extreme political figures on both sides that are going to rise up to counter it.
What
You know,
I'm excited for this guy. I want to see how bad it gets. I just imagine it getting horrific.
I mean,
Horrific.
I don't think he's going to succeed, but I think if he has some success, it'll be epic, right? Like, for example, free buses, right? Okay, that's an interesting idea. I think people could get behind that, but what are you going to do with people who just say, "All right, I'm going to live on the bus"? You know, like what are you going to do with the homeless people? Are you going to say, "Sorry, you're too stinky, you can't come on the bus"? You know,
It's the
like
problem that China eliminated with get rid of all the poverty, little
like
homeless people and put them somewhere else. Because you're
euthanizing
right.
all of them.
It's the shit you don't see. It's just like, oh yeah, let anybody sleep in the subway. It's just like, yeah, bro, that ain't gonna fly. It's not gonna.
Yeah, it's interesting. I remember the last time I was in Denver. Um, I, the last time I was in Denver was a few, maybe 2 or 3 years after they legalized marijuana, right? And I remember just in Lubbock, which is a terrible, terrible place. All kinds of friends say, "I'm going to Denver, man. That's the place. That's the future. I'm gonna go smoke weed all the time. Open up a weed business." Blah, blah, blah. Like it became this sort of mecca for people to go to for their hopes and dreams. When I was there, that city was crawling with hippie hobos, crawling. I mean, I couldn't drive anywhere without seeing them, just tents, just people homeless. I was just like, oh my god, this became see, what I'm trying to illustrate here is people want hope, but they don't understand that hope requires effort, right? Like I think people think I elected Obama, it's all going to be fixed now, but that's not how it works. It's like, okay, I elected Obama, the work starts now,
So
you
yeah,
know.
so yeah, in China they just eliminated all 60 million of them and then got restarted, reset. But
In that
maybe that's
China,
what
they have democracy, so
yeah,
there's none of that bullshit at all,
there's none of that bullshit. Hey, I was gonna say, dude, have you been keeping up with your alma mater?
Who? Tech?
Yeah, Texas Tech Red Raiders.
Oh, I try to forget that I was associated with that
Dude,
school.
you know what NIL is, where they can pay players?
No.
Tech's in the third best conference, and they got the most money in that conference, and they are killing people. They're top 10
Really?
team. And this weekend
What?
they play a
Top
game, and if they
10?
win it, they're in the playoff, bro.
No.
Yes.
Texas Tech?
They're blowing teams out. They're 9-1. They're 8-1.
What?
They're killing teams.
Oh my God.
You
That's
should,
shocking.
they can
That
pay.
is
They
shocking.
pay the most in the they're paying everybody. They're buying players.
How they what? They're outpaying more than UT?
UT's not in the conference anymore, Dean. Texas A&M's not in the conference anymore. It's just Baylor, TCU, Oklahoma State. Like they're the school with the most money, and they're winning.
I'm so out of it. I haven't
You
watched
should be
football in
proud, man. They're gonna win. They're gonna be in the playoff. You need to keep up with that. It's kind of cool.
Chase. I remember just like how awful Tech football was.
I
It was
know.
terrible.
Yeah, they're winning now. They can
Terrible.
pay. You can bribe
Are
players.
they
They're pretty good.
are
Yeah.
they still are they still thriving? Are they see, doesn't that it feels wrong, man? What about the
It
little
does
universe?
feel wrong as long as it's your team. If it's your team, you don't care. You actually love it. But if it's not your team, you're like, yeah, it's fucked.
How
Yeah.
much are they paying these kids?
Quarterback the most. Quarterback will make millions. Mostly the other ones.
Million?
If it's a
Million?
star position, maybe three or four, 500,000. Others get like
What are they
60, 70, 80.
you're giving a college like an 18-year-old. You're giving an 18-year-old that
Dean,
shit.
it's insane. It's
Oh
insane.
my God.
Dude, so I
Oh my
talked to this lady that runs a prominent high school, and she's like, we got some top athletes. I'm like, yeah, what do you do with them? She's like, yeah, we can't pay them, but we set them up with marketing deals. I was like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, we have a junior. He's 16. He's the quarterback, and he's doing car commercials for the local car dealership. I'm like,
oh my God.
dude, if you're a stud now, you get paid 15,
Right.
16 years old. It's crazy.
This is not Chase. I don't want to sound like an old
It
man here, but the
feels
kid is
wrong.
fucked. This
We're
is
getting,
not good.
we're getting,
This is
dude,
not good.
dude,
I feel like the
military.
most virtuous person, and I was talking about coming earlier. Jesus Christ, not
Where's our
good.
paycheck? That's what I want to know. Where's our paycheck?
That's it. Our skills are not valued. We're not valued.
So,
We're at the bottom.
well,
Oh man.
that'll change soon. It's coming, brother. It's coming. Um, but I talked to an old friend today. Her name was Bridget. She was a therapist I used to
Oh
work at.
man, yeah,
She said, I
good
want to
girl.
come on that podcast next week. I said, all right, man, I'm gonna touch base with you.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, Bridget, solid. I only met her twice, but each time I was thinking, I like this. I like her.
Shoot the shit. I'm
Good
gonna
vibe.
let her know before this. It could cost her her job, but it'll be worth
True.
it. Yeah.
Tell me she's not still there. Like still at
No,
the
she's got a lot. She does other shit. Yeah, she's not there.
I can't
good.
believe a legitimate psychologist would want to come on this show.
She's a master's level clinician, but she's still very good at what she does. We
Good
had
I
one
woman.
think
before. We had Eric on. We had a PhD on, bro. Yeah, the Thailand guy.
that's fair. Chase, you need a master level clinician, dude.
They're usually the better ones. They actually care.
It's
Yeah.
true.
I
PhDs
was
are
thinking about that the
soulless.
other day. Yeah, PhDs are fucking solid. I was wondering, like, can I get a PhD, but I don't want to do any research? Is that possible? No, no,
You could
no.
do what Shaq did. He went to the University of Phoenix. He got his PhD.
Did he really? The
Yes.
University of
No dissertation. It was all oral. He just had to give an oral presentation, no paper.
do that.
Actually,
Yeah, there's a great Family Guy bit where these two construction workers are talking, and he's like, "Hey, did you hear my kid got into DeVry?" And he says, "What did he do? Open the
Open the
door."
door. Yeah, it's perfect. It's a great insult because it's all true. Yes.
Yeah, Tech is barely above University of Phoenix, man. Barely.
They're good at football.
They're good at basketball too, man. Had some
Good at
solid basketball.
Dude, you should. So they're playing a BYU. Whoever wins this weekend is winning the conference. So you should watch.
I wish there was. I want to go see some sport. I'd like to go see a sport.
Box seats with free alcohol and free food. That's the best way to see sports.
Yeah, that sounds good, man.
Sounds fucking fantastic.
Unfortunately, that's limited to ping pong in China. But
Austin, if we made it big and they're like, hey, listen, let's say it's close to you, tickets at the Atlanta Falcons box seats. We want you guys, DivineBrothers, to come as guests.
box seats. I don't care what the sport is. Box seats.
Austin,
Go.
would you go and would you partake in the food and liquor?
wait, yeah, for take of the food. What was that last thing you said?
Liquor, the alcohol.
No, I haven't had a drink of alcohol in like 15 years. One of my
What if we made
ex-bosses.
it? What if we made it and I bought us a pair of champagne? I was like, yeah, we made it. Yeah. And I poured you a glass. Would you drink it?
Oh, you got to do that.
Nah, dude.
But
I get better.
bullshit, bullshit. What?
Who
You
cares,
fucking
man?
go
That's
have a
why we're not
glass of
making it. This is your
champagne,
fucking fault, man.
dude.
Alcohol is the worst drug ever. I'd rather do
Dude,
meth than
you were a
drugs.
heroin addict, and
It's
that's
a
what you're saying?
It's a
Dean,
celebration.
fuck?
Dean,
Jesus Christ.
heroin actually felt good. Alcohol doesn't feel good to me.
You would have a
Don't
sip,
talk
right?
shit about heroin, Dean. Don't act like it's not enjoyable because it is. All right, man.
I did the synthetic heroin once, and it did feel pretty good. I was
It's better than
calling people I
alcohol.
shouldn't have called and telling them like way too much. I was feeling good. Yeah.
I feel bad for alcoholics, man, because it's just like it's shitty. It's just shitty
Austin,
drug.
you
Why
would
would you
take
do
a
that?
sip though. I would shove it down your throat.
I'd take a sip and then
Okay.
I'd spit it in your
Close the
Dean's
nostrils.
face.
face. Dean's face.
I'd spit it in your tan face, you bastard. You said I couldn't be a sportscaster. You said I was pale.
He said that. You saying we? He.
Wait, Austin, are you saying you're not
He.
pale?
Look, Dean, I don't need the reality of the situation thrown in my face. All right, I want a fantasy world where I'm the best at everything, and I need you guys to reinforce that, especially you, Chase. And I know as a psychologist, you would agree that you need to reinforce delusions for
Well,
the
Austin, it
downcast.
sounds a bit arrogant. If you make me laugh, I support it. But if
Yeah.
not, I'm going to cut you down.
Arrogant is a good word for him. Yeah. Okay. I think we
For
came to
me,
some conclusion. Yeah, arrogant Austin. I think
for the
that's a
most
good
advanced meditator we know, arrogant.
AA. That's what he
For
is.
the most spiritually
Hey,
refined,
that's it.
the most spiritually illuminated person on this
All right,
podcast,
hey.
arrogant.
That's enough talking, AA.
Wait, hey, did you try remote viewing with the address that I gave you?
I didn't chase, but I've been working on some things. Look, I'm making progress. Okay, it's not like I'm meditating 10 minutes a day or something like some people. I'm
First
evolving.
of all, 15. Lately, 15. All right? And if you'd have read my meditation last night, you would have known what I was going to talk about today, but you're not reading them because you don't care what
I
other
read
people
it.
think.
I read it.
Yeah. What did I talk about?
what you talked about on the podcast.
And which was
Not going to repeat it.
Can I
Austin. You
But I
see
often
this?
I read, but I don't always comment, Dean.
can
I
I
do
s-
read it.
I want to say this that last week I had to change the book club time and I sent a group text message and Austin replied, Dean, Bobby, thoughts? And Dean's reply was beautiful because my reply specifically said, I talked to Dean. He's on board. I gotta change the time. And Dean was like, Austin, you don't read. Don't
He
read.
don't read. He doesn't read. He's fucking pathetic. I gotta tell you, man. That was so revealing, that moment right there. I was like, this explains everything about him.
I was at work when I read it, and I skimmed
You
it, and I
didn't read
didn't
it.
see
You,
that
you did
part.
something else. I don't know what you did.
Dean, with this kind of attitude, it's no wonder your children keep committing suicide, dude. I'm going to tell you this. You got to be gentler with people because you really upset me
Are you
today.
saying you're suicidal? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
Dean, I'm actually the least suicidal I've ever been.
That's good. See,
Partly
you know
thanks to you guys, so I appreciate that.
why? As I pray
I
for
told you
you.
that last week. That's good to hear. Yeah.
See
Thank you.
this? It's all helping. This is the Trinity, boys. Always remember that. Us three together. This is the great triangle of the Divine Brothers.
Triangle of trust.
Yep,
Double
two
edged.
homosexuals and myself.
Yeah, man. Me and
Made you laugh
Austin
a little
sitting
bit there,
at
Chase.
each other. Chase just staring, judging.
That's what I do.
All right. Call it there.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for listening to the Divine Brothers.